All right. So, I just now got off of work, and there are two topics I want to talk about. The first thing is obviously this. Okay, so given this past Labor Day weekend, um, well, let's just say this. It was 60 plus shootings in Chicago this past weekend, this past Labor Day weekend. That also included a bus driver, a, tran- a transit bus driver, which thankfully he's recovering. Now, some of the people who got arrested, who, now let me say this, as far as the shootings go, most of them, let me say this, and I'm going to say this right here. Victim, black. Victims, black. Perpetrators, also black. But we won't hear this from the Satanist media. We won't hear Black Lives Matter or Al Sharpton or any of these race baiting pricks uh, come out and say anything against them. And the local activists there in the city, to be honest, they're a fucking joke. Yeah, I said it. The activists in the city themselves, they're a fucking joke. Because all they're doing is just complain, complain, complain. Talking about something needs to be done about this violence, this and that and the third. But all they're doing is just complaining their asses off. And let's talk about Beetlejuice. She thinks that she's nothing more than just a race baiting shithead either. As well. And she's not doing a damn thing about what's going on in Chicago. I remember a couple of years back, especially when Trump was president, guess what? Lori Lightfoot basically declined Trump's offer to help Chicago. But the city has got the violence in the city has gotten worse and worse and worse under her watch. She puts Tiny Dancer, a.k.a. Rahm Emanuel, to shame. She puts Richard M. Daley, who's been mayor of Chicago for 22 years, she puts him to shame. In other words, what I'm saying is she make both of them look good. She make both of them at least more competent than herself. Another thing I want to talk about is in various since college football has started back up, I think it's time to say that some of the college students who are there who've attended some of those games are probably waking up. And I have hope for them. Because I'll tell you this, you know, me on the other hand, I haven't watched a lot of sports lately because, um, most sports are literally appeasing to this woke bullshit that's been going on, you know, and they obviously haven't learned their lesson about keeping the politics out of sports. But I gotta laugh. I think this is super funny of hearing this. In some of the sports arenas, some I mean, given that it's college football season now, college football done kicked off this past weekend. My hope in humanity has been restored. You know, the spectators of some of these college sports games, they were chanting F Joe Biden this and F Joe Biden that. Because you want to know why? They're probably fed. They're even after a year of this here pandemic, they're probably tired of being told how to live their lives. And I don't blame them, because all the government wants to do is to tell us how to think and how to live. I mean, and ever since none of the crowds were literally wearing masks and whatnot. Um, Even here, this over here in Madison, Wisconsin, where the Badgers were playing, although they lost against Penn State this past weekend. Um, a lot of the fans there, they were not wearing masks, not even at the Camp Randall Stadium. I mean, now I don't know. Now supposedly the college kids there, most of them got vaccinated, even though while you're fully vaccinated, you can still catch the beer bug and all that other nonsense. But it just goes to show that they shouldn't be afraid of anything. I mean, now I'm gonna set the record straight. Unfortunately, COVID is here. I mean, the beer bug is here to stay. I mean, whether you wanna believe it or not, but that shouldn't stop people from living their lives. I mean, and that's all I have to say for this rant. I'm Chuck Johnson, a.k.a. Kid Thunder. You guys have a wonderful night.